conditions. There are so many neurological conditions we can see nowadays, and even there were issues of genetically modified food breeds. So, then the question is that whether that can be trusted. Who knows that one genetical modification means, I will start with a dry laboratory. Dry laboratory experiment means there are software like RASMOL. RASMOL is there, then there are KEGG, Kyoto Encyclopedia of Gene and Genomes, those systems are there. So, in those systems you can design a molecule in RASMOL, you can modify some molecule you can modify according to your choice, and then you can put it in the KEGG system, and KEGG will indicate that how much harm it can do and what will be the action actually. So, it will go through the whole metabolic process, but it is all through computer, not actual experiment. So, in human body it is not done. So, it is done a trial of a new drug molecule, at first done on the dry level. This is a dry laboratory. There are different kinds of dry laboratory softwares. So, that is done. KEGG is one example. There are other American biological, this system of genome is there. So, in those systems all metabolic pathways are there. So, if you put a molecule in that, so you can know that at what points it will react. And virus, a new virus comes out, then these dry labs become very important, because it can be done in a very fast. It does not need a human experiment. Without doing a human experiment, animal experiment also, it can directly find out a solution. So, in many cases such system is used. So, but if we modify something in the genetically, some food genetically, then we never know that how much change will be caused to the human body after that kind of gene enters in the human body, and that is why so much of resistance is found. We can find that so much of resistance is there against a genetically modified food material. And the second question is that actually do we need that much of food? Are we not food surplus? Ethical, this is ethical question. Do we need this much amount of food at all? Just consider the waste in a marriage ceremony, food waste, or waste in food of hotels. Do we need so much of food? This is ethical question. Now it is at present it is under discussion. So, a question question comes in case of agricultural and all biotechnological issues, that what is the value of food? Value of the food, qualitative value, quantitative value, everything. Then the value of enhanced well-being. Does it provide enhanced well-being, or does it cause decrease in the well-being? Hormones used to create a bigger size of product. Khub common, very common. Very big size cucumbers. How it is produced? Big size. So then, is it safe? Is it safe? Third, the value of human health. How much value we are giving to the human health? How much human health is being compromised? Commercialization, effect of commercialization. How much value we are giving actually to the human health? Then the value of natural resources. If we produce genetically modified things, or we use lot of harmful substances, then are we not damaging natural resources? A piece of land where lot of pesticide has been used, can a normal plant can be grown there? So These are very important questions. How much is the effect of flora and fauna if there is flood and that pesticide is flown away in the river and river spreads it to villages after villages. So, that causes natural resource damage also, and we need to understand the value of nature also. So, these are important ethical issue when we consider biological systems. That important ethical issue, that nature is to be respected, not only human being. We must respect the nature. We must respect the nature. We cannot plant a particular type of tree damaging other trees. Variety. Nature has got variety, the huge variety of flora and fauna, and if we start growing a particular variety, then the other variety will be get extinct. So, we will not know the effect of such extinction unless a harsh situation comes, and that can be after 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. So, there are certain values which we must think at present. So, these are I am giving to you as food for thought, and this came from Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO. So, I took it from FAO website. These are the points they are discussing at present. So, these are recent happening, and obviously, we will talk of safety of food, treatment of animals, how the animals are to be treated in a animal experiment, how much chemicals are to be used, how the farm is to be managed, whether we can prevent the leakage from the farm, leakage of the materials used in the farm to other farm. So, farm management of the manpower, damage to the manpower. A person, you have employed, or farm manager has employed a person to spray a pesticide without mask. So, it is a harm to the person. So, that is another ethical issue. So, sustainability, can such systems by which the production is going on, is it sustainable? What is a sustainable system for a proper agricultural food chain, animal chain, and the flora and fauna? There has to be has to survive together. So, it has to be. It is an issue of sustainability, whether it can be sustained or not. For temporary purpose, we can do something which will meet the need at present, but it may cause a big damage in future. Then it is not sustainable. So, sustainability is important, and sharing of information is very important. So, these are some issues I have found in the case of agricultural scientific literature. But FAO rules, FAO is coming up with in a big way with all regulations that I can see. So, thank you very much for your patience hearing. So, it is the end of my lecture. Next lecture I will talk about, let me see, and so I will talk about the leftover portion, small portions are there. Smaller issues are there, for example. So, that next lecture I hope next week I can be. I was unfit for one or 2 weeks, so I could not deliver the lecture earlier. 1 week I had to skip. So, next week I hope I can deliver, and that will be the final from my side. Okay, thank you. Any questions you can ask? Same thing. The basic principle is same. Do no harm, do good. You cannot go beyond that. Okay. So, all the rules are now microbes are very dangerous. We can see coronavirus, we can see the effect of it. So, experiments, that is why the leakage. You are think of your laboratory as a farm where you are growing certain kinds of microbes, and it gets leaked. It can do a lot of harm. So, these are important things that must be considered. Hey, recording বন্ধ তো? Hello.